Kia ora everybody, and welcome back to Civilization 5. Today we're taking a look at something really spicy. It's Poland. Widely regarded as the best civilization in the game, and you know what? I tend to agree. In fact, some people, when they're making their tier lists, will put Poland above S tier, in this sort of god tier status. That's how good Poland is. Anyway, I won't hype it up anymore. Let's jump in and talk about it. So, Poland starts with a plains start bias, and their unique ability is called Solidarity. And this is really powerful, but also really simple. At the start of every in-game era, with the exception of the Ancient Era, which is the one that you start in at the beginning, at turn 1, you receive a free social policy. Further, the social policy does not raise the cost of future policies or remove any of your built-up culture. What that means is you get an entirely free policy at the start of every era. And in a normal game, that means you're probably going to pick up 4, 5, 6 free social policies throughout. Basically, you are unlocking one of the social policy trees for free. That's kind of how you can think about it, because you're probably going to get 5 policies. You're probably going to, therefore, get a tree for free. The fact that you unlock them without raising the cost of future policies really matters, because in a normal game, when you accrue enough culture to unlock the next policy, right, let's say 225, the next one costs even more. However, with Poland's solidarity policies, you get them for free. And we'll talk a little bit more about the strategy with those a little bit later in the video when I cover policies. Next up, and I think that people often sleep on this with Poland, it's their unique unit and their unique building. I feel like a lot of people look at solidarity and they think, wow, 5 or more free social policies, this is the best civ in the game. But don't sleep on this, alright? So first up, we have their unique unit, the Winged Hassar. The Winged Hassar is unlocked at Metallurgy, so it's unlocked in the Renaissance era, so not quite as early as some of the other really powerful units, but man is it good. Man is it good! Holy moly! So, it can upgrade from the pikeman or the Landsknecht. It requires a horse, of course, because it is a mounted unit. And it's Poland's unique replacement to the Lancer. Let me tell you what this powerhouse can do. So, positive one-off changes. It has a buffed combat strength up to 28 and an additional movement point up from 4 to 5. And as you'll see in the gameplay, when you run this thing along roads within your empire, you can run like 10 tiles in a turn. You can literally feel like you're crossing the whole map with the Winged Hassar. Not only is it stronger and it moves faster, but you also receive some other positive benefits. You get a 33% bonus against mounted units. That's the Formation 1 promotion that you get for free. You also get Shock 1, which is plus 15% combat strength in open terrain. And finally, you can knock back enemy units with the Winged Hassar if it does more damage to them than they can produce defending. So if their defensive strength is lower than your offensive strength, when you attack them, you'll literally knock them back. Literally push them back a tile. If you can't do that, you'll deal extra damage instead, right? If they're pinned up against a mountain or something, obviously they're not Carthage, probably, so you can do extra damage. Very powerful. Combine that with Poland's unique stable, the Ducal Stable, which is unlocked really early in the game, when you normally unlock the stable with horseback riding in the classical era. And you end up with a very powerful Winged Hassar. Reason being, the Polish stable, the Ducal Stable, is cheaper to build, cheaper to buy by around 20 to 25%. It has no maintenance. It provides 15 experience to mounted units built in the respective city. That lets you get that shock promotion so easily and work towards your next one. And of course it provides +1 gold for pasture resources. That's sheep, cattle, and crucially, horses. Hopefully you can start to see how not only does Poland get off to a great start with extra free social policies in each era, but the combination of their unique stable and their unique mounted unit leads you to get very powerful, very fast, and actually relatively cheap Winged Hassars to replace your Lancers in the mid-game around the Renaissance era. Now that we've talked about what Poland does, let's talk about how to use them. Okay, so for starters, victory conditions. Really, to be honest, you can kind of take your pick. However, it should be very apparent to you that domination, I believe, is what Poland does best. Purely because you can take advantage of their incredibly powerful unique unit. You actually get to use the unique building a little bit more than just the standard sort of gold bonuses that it will apply to your horses tiles. And also, because you have those free social policies, you can afford to focus a little less on culture and a little more on your war stick or your science, which will, of course, work hand in hand with the war stick. Which ties us nicely into choosing social policies. I think a Liberty opener is the best decision for Poland. The Liberty opener will allow you to get some extra workers online fast, so you can start improving your tiles fast. That matters in particular because you want to improve your horses as soon as you can. As soon as you can. Going Liberty will also allow you to unlock some handy wonders that you may choose to purchase. By that I mean you'll unlock pyramids, which could be a goer for you if you want to move more towards getting some free workers. But also through that tree, you'll enable some faster wonder production. So you might be able to pick up something like the Oracle, for example, which just stacks even better with what Poland is already putting down with the free social policies. But to be fair, honestly, almost any wonder is a good pickup for Poland, particularly though those that combine well with training military units, providing experience to military units, which ties me into my next advice for your social policies. I can actually see two reasonable strategies here. The second one is to pick up tradition. You don't necessarily need to complete it, but picking it up is not a bad idea. And the other one is actually opening with honor. So while you should definitely take either liberty or tradition first to help with your culture, to help with your infrastructure, to help with your happiness, you could consider picking up honor. The tree offers some good boosts to your military pursuits. It allows you to build some unique wonders, i.e. the statue of Zeus. But also, the tree overall provides some great benefits to your winged hussars. It's just that you don't have to take honor straight away with Poland. Because the hussars come later, you can afford to invest in liberty or tradition first. The other thing to note with Poland's social policy trees, and something that is really important for your strategy with Poland, is that when you, through solidarity, get your free social policies, you get them at the beginning of the era, and unlike normal unlocks where you have to wait for your culture to accrue to a certain level, let's say 305 or whatever, with these ones you get them at the very beginning of the era. That matters because social policy trees are unlocked at the beginning of certain eras. What that means is you can dive straight into rationalism as soon as rationalism is unlocked, okay? So definitely don't sleep on rationalism. It should be your follow-up social policy. Absolutely. After the winged hussar onslaught, rationalism is a great mid-game policy for you to pick up. And like I say, you get to pick it up immediately as Poland. And that's one of those other benefits to playing as Poland that isn't necessarily clear in the text, right? Free social policies, but becomes really apparent at the start of each era. You get a free social policy. Therefore, you can be the very first person to unlock, say, commerce or exploration, or indeed rationalism. Now let's talk some common mistakes with Poland to help you tie your strategy together. For starters, the big one has to be horseback riding. Okay, taking horseback riding too late is a massive error. You may have a start free of pasture resources, like I did in this video, but full of some other stuff, right? You need horses. Do not delay getting horseback riding, and do not delay improving your tiles, improving those horse tiles. Now, you might have noticed in this video, I actually ended up taking Orleans from France, who gave it to me for free in our peace deal, because I had a really strong military. And thankfully, that enabled me to get horses and enabled me to build my winged hussars. But if I didn't have that, I would have been screwed. So absolutely build those. The second thing that you're going to want to focus on, and the thing that I want to leave you with in this video, is build siege units, okay? Your winged hussars aren't great at dealing with cities, so get some cannons and romp them out. Thank you very much for watching this Civilization 5 guide. If you enjoyed it, please do consider leaving a like rating, and good luck dominating with Poland. I'll see you next time.